Shobana, you proceed with this. Screen share பண்ண வேண்டாம், நீங்க proceed பண்ணுங்க. Shobana, proceed. Screen share no, just proceed. Yeah, warm welcome to one and all gathered here. We cordially invite you for the event of NIRMANA'21 International Engineers Day Celebration Week. Day 3 session. Day 3 session is about research session organized by JIT Institute of Technology, IET Student Forum in association with IET Chennai Center. In this occasion, now a heartful welcome to our director, Dr. N. Maria Wilson sir, and our respected principal ma'am, Dr. Ella Merle Livingston ma'am, and our honorable chief guest, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz, who is take over the session by today. We welcome heartful welcome you, ma'am. Now I request Deepika Venkateshan to give the about the NIRMANA event 2021. Please, Deepika.
Thank you, Rahul. It is an immense pleasure to tell about the event. NIRMANA'21 is a flagship event conducted by IET Student Forum of JPR Institute of Technology in association with IET Student Chennai Center. It will be conducted for 7 days as usual, celebrating the International Engineers Day from 9th September to 15th September. The main motto of this event is to enhance their professional skills to help them become a successful engineer. So today is the day 3 of NIRMANA'21. In this day, we are honored to welcome Dr. Celia Shahnaz. This event is conducted to pave the way to know more about the writer's skill of research articles, suggesting how to write a research article efficiently. This session creates an opportunity for the students to learn from the experts. And finally, I am honored to welcome our chief guests, staffs, coordinators, and all the participants to the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika. Now I welcome Mr. Rakesh to tell about the chief guest profile. Please, Rakesh.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul Kannan. Dr. Celia Shahnaz, professor at Bangladesh University of Engineering and Technology. She is a chair IEEE SPS woman in signal processing, founder of SPS, RAS, IAS, and SSIT Bangladesh chapter. She has published more than 150 international conference papers. She is a recipient of Canadian Commonwealth Fellowship and Bangladesh Academic of Science Gold Medal for his contribution in science and technology. Our research area includes of deep learning, power signals, multimodal emotion recognition, digital marketing, and so on. Recently, our papers have received the Best Paper Award in Biomedical Engineering tracks at TenCon 2017 and IEEE WIE-Con ECE 2016. She has been elected as a chair IEEE SPS Women in Signal Processing 2021 to 2023. She has been appointed as a IEEE History Committee member. She is a current chair IEEE Bangladesh Section 2020 and Women in Site Working member. She has more than 20 years of experience of leading impactful technical, educational, industrial women empowerment and humanitarian technology and peace-related projects in national and international levels. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Rakesh. Now it's a time to felicitate our session speaker, Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz, with the virtual e-memento as a token of appreciation. It's our immense pleasure to felicitate you, ma'am. Thanks for your cooperation and towards us and accepting our invitation in your busy schedule, ma'am. Thank you. Now I hand over the session to Professor Dr. Celia Shahnaz to take over the session. Please, ma'am.
The humble introduction, and let me share my screen. Hope it is visible to all of you. Please let me know.
Yeah, ma'am. It's visible now, ma'am.
Yes. Thanks to JPR Institute of Technology IET Student Forum in association with IET Chennai Center for taking such a timely initiative, NIRMANA 2021, and specially arranging a research session where I will be speaking about how to write a research article. Thanks to Rahul for your leadership, and thanks for introducing your other organizing committee members. I'm really very happy to know all of you. This is just a brief bio that actually Rakesh has introduced me humbly. So I really appeal you to visit my Google Scholar citation, Celia Shahnaz Google Scholar citation. Then you can know about my research in detail, and you can know about the topics, you can know about how they are cited, and how my students are working very hard in this pandemic to have citations from the people on whom we have created impact. So this is very important. So as a researcher, I believe in power of networking because networking help you implement the innovative ideas. Here you can see two human chain that is led by me, and it's a human chain of students like you, postgraduate student, our administrators, professor, industry expert, entrepreneurs, sponsors, all together. They help us finding data, finding database, finding research funds, finding computational facility, so that we don't sit idly with so many limitations. And in the left side, down bottom, you can see my engagement in different technical societies, starting from affinity group, women in engineering, young professional site, and I'm founder of 4 technical society chapters in this country: signal processing society, Robotics and Automation Society, Industrial Application Society, Engineering, Medicine, Biology Society. I work in Power and Energy Society, Power Electronics Society, Computational Intelligence Society, Society on Social Implications and Technology, and do research related to Computer Society. But in my own research, I try to connect with United Nations 17 sustainable goals like quality education, smart cities and communities, affordable clean energy, like that. Now, today's topic, we really need to know what type of scientific writing we can target. There are research articles or research papers, there are review articles, research reports, research projects for funding. You can apply for patent, and important dissertation of thesis. If you want to pass a BSc thesis, master thesis, and a PhD thesis. Okay, so ultimate product of intellectual pursuit, and report on research findings that are really valid. An idea is novel and original, which is very important. And you also add your new understanding, observations, your mathematical proof. It has required structure and style, like you might start with introduction, and then a methodology or material, then results and discussion and future work. There is a flow and structure. But it's important to know that approximately in globally there are more than 35 journals. But 22,000 of them are ISI or scope abstracted, and over 50% are never cited by anyone. That's why at the very beginning, I have shown my Google Scholar citation, not just to show the citation, just to show you that the word citation is important. That means you have to do research that is impactful to others and useful to others. Okay, so less than 2 scientists read the abstract and introduction, and less than 1% read rest of the paper. So it's very important. Your abstract and introduction should be very meaningful, very catchy. So what are the attributes of a good manuscript? It should be concise but very impactful, powerful. It should be like a story type, and it should be very to the point, and there should be no grammatical or any error. So there should be contribution which is recognizable, and you have to recognize others' contribution also. And your contribution should be technically correct. That is important. So now you can do a good research. There is a question how you can transfer good science lead to great findings, and also great finding needs to be reported in the best possible way forward. There is the importance of article and scientific writing. Okay, so this is actually a flow that we dream, discover, deliver, design, and finally deliver in terms of publication. So creativity is fundamental attribute of science which is driven by curiosity. Dr. M. Iqbal Chaudhry from 2019, and points to be considered. You should target your audience, whether you are targeting a signal processing community or robotics community, where you want to evaluate the prestige of the journal, and you want to also keep the prestige of your own institution, because your affiliation will be written in your journal or conference. And accessibility, whether it is open access or subscribed, okay, or it's available free of charge, or it's available on payment. Impact factor of the journal, probability of getting acceptance based on the quality of work and the publication time, whether it needs 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, or 2 years. So there are research articles like letters. In signal processing, we have SPS letters. There are articles, there are communications like Elsevier communication. There are research notes, and also there are supplement articles. Okay, so criteria of a good research: your idea should be novel, and quality science and research should be put forward, and your writing should be very attractive and good, and we target to publish it in impactful journals. And so we should remember that a good article is the one that is read and cited by others. So writing is a critical step in science, although scientists are not trained to write. So that's why such workshops are very necessary. Even very creative experiments and novel results will have dull impact if the manuscript is not written well. That's why there are a lot of authorship workshops going on worldwide, and I still, whenever I get chance, I participate in those workshops. Okay, so what are the key to writing skill? Read excellent writers and write, and use the best paper in your field as a template. Keep writing concise, dynamic, and simple, and convey enthusiasm in your writing so it attract the audience. So first introduction, then what is the topic that you mentioned in the introduction, and what did you do, methods, that means how you have developed the technology, what did you find, that is your result, and what does that mean, that your discussion. Okay, So these are the parts of the manuscript. Usually a title should be very catchy and reflects the contribution. Abstract should be there, introduction should be there, methodology, results, discussion, and acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is very important. Acknowledgement to your institution and acknowledgement to your lab and acknowledgement to your funding agency, and there should be references. So this is very important. So title, title, these are some example, okay, and that your title should attract the readers. There is an example of good title, and there should be example of some bad title. And abstract is the most critical part of the paper. Only chance that reader will read it and cite it, and it will attract the attention. So it should be crisp, concise, and accurate, okay, and it should be quick idea of the contents and standalone contents and what and how was done and what is the novelty. Very brief conclusion also you have to give in the abstract, okay. So usually I write abstract at the end of writing the manuscript, okay. So skeleton of the article, this is the structure: introduction, materials or method, what did you do, results, why did you find, we discussed it. So introduction actually give background information of the current study, what is our focus area, what was the related work, and what are those limitations, how we should move forward. So importance of current need and summary of new findings. And in the methodology, we really represent that what is the method and technology we have used, okay, to overcome the current limitations. So this is very important. And also, while describing methodology, we can use statistical. It's can important to have a data collection. Results. So there should be some analysis. Use descriptive headings that concisely state the results, data representation, and it should be short and easy to present. After presenting a result in the table, you must tell what you can see from the table, how your method is compared to the state of the art, and how you are doing well in terms of performance parameter, and why your performance parameter is better. So give tables and figures where needed, which is very important. Bar graph. Your results should be not just writing, it should be figures, it should be tables, it should be bar graph, and many things. So we we have to avoid using such word like proofs, confirmed, and it has removed all doubts, like that, because the technology is dynamically changes. So we cannot just write these lines, it is proved, it is confirmed. So it's important to use appropriate word, okay. So this is very important. Finally, discussion. This is the hardest part. And most important, we should use the disrupting headings that concisely summarize the interpretation of the result, answer the question in the introduction. That means what was absent is the previous work, and what was done, and how those limitations were covered by the current discussion. And correlation of your finding with the existing knowledge is very important. Otherwise, we do not have any benchmark. Discrepancies between new results and previously reported results. It is very important to really report you. So in the discussion, we will really tell what is new, conclusion, summary, perspective, implications, research limitations, need for future research, theoretical implications, possible practical applications. This should be in the discussion. Conclusion. Identify key findings and application, and should not be a summary of the work done or the same thing in the abstract. It should be consistent with experimental and introduction, okay. So very important to put references, cite current and key pertinent references. Reference citations must be accurate and complete, and we should read the references, use correct style of the journal, which is very, very important. Funding agencies. This is acknowledgement, intellectual contributions, university, college, labs, dedications to supervisors or some other colleagues who really helped you in data collection, or notes. This is very important. Acknowledgement is a very important part of the research article. So final step is revision and proofreading. We are very bad about it and we neglect this part. In the revision and proofreading, we do spelling, grammar, punctuation, different things, vocabulary, spell check, and typos, technical terms like scientific symbols, whether they're correct, reaction scheme, other themes, references, those are correct or not. So proofreading marks, there are these are proofreading mark. This is 3 lines are capitalized, slash make it lowercase. Very interesting, these are proofreading marks. Okay, and you see they finished in Lake Tahoe. In below L there are 3 lines, that means we have to make it capital. I really love this proofreading marks. And major reasons for rejection. The study is just confirmation of the previous research, so it's not novel. There are poor experimental design. So and also, if you are target a journal which is not suitable and fits to your scope, then it will be rejected. Weekly written presentation and language, which is very, I told you, I emphasized on better presentation and language. This is process of research and its publication. You complete the research, prepare the manuscript, submit your manuscript, assign peer review decision. It can be rejected, or you can get the revision. Then after incorporating the comment, you revise, re-review, and acceptance of publication or rejection of publication. We want to avoid rejection of publication. Okay, so what are do's and don'ts in scientific writings? Be factual, be honorable, be legal, be truthful, be objective, be accurate. And don't deceive, don't falsify, don't plagiarize. These are very important ethical standard for us. Ethics in scientific writing, okay? uh, Acknowledge grants, avoid fragmentary or duplicate publication, acknowledging past and present contributors, informed consent and institutional review board, ethical review board approval, many things. So these are important thing for ethics in scientific writing. Okay, and ethics in scientific writing. Another very important issue is falsification of data or data alteration, plagiarism, duplicate manuscripts, unnecessary self citation, redundant publication, author conflicts of interest, and animal use concerns. So, these are the important points concerning ethics in scientific writing. Okay, so I followed such principles, and let me tell you some of my papers related to ECG, electrocardiogram, and it has been published in IEEE Elsevier journal, and it has been cited 349 times. This is the highest cited paper, and for this paper my students got admission in North Carolina State University. He is in a very good school, and now he is doing job in United States. This is another paper, pitch estimation, published in scientific journal Transaction Papers, and this is also speech enhancement, published in Transaction Papers. These are outcome of following good technical writing. That's why they have been published in Elsevier, signal processing and control, IEEE transactions, and this is related to my work in brain signal, EEG, electroencephalogram. It is published in biomedical signals and control. And this tuberculosis detection from chest radioscope is very interesting. We apply deep learning and machine learning techniques because it is and we publish in IEEE Access. We are also working on detection of pneumonia, and then the COVID came. My students became very excited. They started comparing different imaging techniques, following publishing ethics, and finally, using multimodal image, they were able to detect COVID, and it has been published in IEEE transactions. And we followed all principles that we showed. And recently, in October 2020 competition, this data was uploaded, and my team was ranked third among in terms of accuracy and first in terms of quickness, in terms of time, in terms of computation. This is another scientific research is non-invasive glucose estimation, portable variable. That's why it is published in IEEE Access. You can read. And for bilirubin level quantification and jaundice detection, my students have developed this structure. And also to avoid human contact, this is a wrist guard, PPG sensor, and galvanic resistance to really find heart rate, blood pressure, glucose. Think about how important it is during the pandemic. And also, this is a stetophone for remote personalized healthcare. I really request you to follow these papers, and also intelligent wheelchair for the, because if we want to have wheelchair, it is more than 2000 US dollar, but this is less than 200 US dollars. So we have to really know what are the style we have followed in the paper. And this is also smart hat for elderly protection, because they live alone, and walking and falling down from the washroom and in the kitchen is a common phenomena for them. So it is important to develop technology for them. And this is an injecting device that is for precise vein detection. Actually, it is designed for mass vaccination, and it is also brain signal control, EEG, wheelchair. And it is very important where the blind people, where the it's very important for all of us, where the blind people cannot read. This is a text to braille scanner. And also for deaf and dumb people, I visited Bangladesh Deaf and Dumb Association, and developed this alphabet recognition system by deploying VGG19. So these are some examples that how article writing and publication ethics have allowed me to do so with lots of limitations. And to start your research or article writing, just start a new product design like automatic hand sanitizer, then describe it following the style that we did. And let me tell you, as pickup competition and VI pickup competition, you should participate, because when you participate the competition, you have to write a technical report, and it is a preparation for future journals. In 2015, my students were ranked fifth, and from there we got 3 journal papers, which is very important. I inspire all of you to join such competitions for team prove your scientific writing. Okay, this is Regented Humanity and Technology Conference, where I was general co-chair. I handled around 700 participants and authors. I like to interact with the authors. I like to teach them. And this is IEEE Week on EC, Women in Engineering Conference in the area of electrical and computer engineering. And I was the founder, and now it is in its 7th year. I will be happy one day if JIT collaborate with this initiative. This is the first one between Bangladesh and Pune, between Bangladesh and Uttar Pradesh, between Bangladesh and Thailand, between Bangladesh and Bangalore, Bangalore and Bangladesh and Bhubaneswar subsection. If you want to remain or become part of this large event, with great number of authors, scientific contributors, reviewers, and speakers. Please contact me so that we can do the collaboration. And Tencent 2020 was the second large, first flagship Region 10 conference, and it was completely virtual. I was general chair. I really saw that how scientific writing can create an impact on local communities so that many people get registered to know how to write papers and how to write a good papers. Recently, we did international COVID-19 and work International Women in Engineering COVID-19 Congress. It was very much well received, and many of the authors, they really showed their project ideas in the COVID-19, and this can lead to a very good publication. And why you should do group work, because if your IEEE MBS Engineering Medicine Biology Society has received Regional Outstanding Chapter Award, and only two chapter got it, one in Argentina, one in Bangladesh, and also in Signal Processing Society. We got the certification very quickly. This is a recognition of good work, especially your article writing through different conferences, organizing different conferences to ensure timely dissemination of the research. So I request you to visit my website www.celiashahnaz.com so that we can change the world, and we can as we are engineers. I am a supporter of the note that you can be from a small village, small state, but what is not small, your merit, your passion to contribute others. So don't feel that you are not ready. Always be ready and sit on the table and discuss so that you can change the life. In the whole subcontinent, there are a lot of talented men and women like you, but there are very few leaders in the global position. So that's why it is important to improve our technical skill, and to improve our technical skill, it is important to write a research article, because we should be the technical leader. The researchers should be the technical leaders. So actually, I'm running for IEEE WHR elect position, and there are other two candidates, Simai and Cynthia. But I request you to visit my website, even if you do not are not an IEEE member. Please share it to your network so that we can support each other and we can grow together. We can work together and can empower each other. Thank you very much. Hope you found the session very meaningful. If you want more, we can do many in future. Thank you. Take care once again.
Ma'am, here are some questions in the chat box, ma'am. Can I ask, ma'am?
Any question?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Can I read it, ma'am?
Yeah.
From Deepika Venkatesan, what is the layout of research article?
I have presented at first your title, and also I told abstract, the title, then the abstract, then then the introduction, where you will do your literature survey, then the methodology, and then result and discussion with future direction. This is the overall standard structure of a research article. Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you, ma'am. And a question from Ramya Sri. In your opinion, which one is better, experimental research or analytical research?
Both are important, without analytical research, you cannot go for implementation, right? Both are important. We have to work together. A person who has good analytical skill, he or she will write an analytical paper, and the person who is good in implementation should join the group so that the paper contains both, because we want to transform all our ideas into product, because we want a lot of entrepreneurs. to have a proper industry and academia collaboration. Hope I could answer your question.
Thank you, ma'am. And a question from Rahul Kannan: how to publish the research article in IEEE Explore and cost for this, ma'am?
Yeah, I showed I showed some of my examples. So you can read those papers, my humble request, so that you can understand that what is IEEE standard. I think if your idea is novel, and if your idea is novel, but if you want to articulate in technical writing properly, if you can do it, and of course there will be review, and if you can you are able to respond to reviewer properly, I think you can go for a IEEE publication the way I did. And majority of my IEEE publications are coming from undergraduate thesis students like you. If I can do it, you can also do it. Just as an example, I humbly request you to read my IEEE journals. Thank you very much, so that you can have a guideline.
Super, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And a question from Mahalakshmi: what is the difference between research paper and review paper, ma'am?
Research paper and review paper. Yeah, I told you in my slide that review paper means on a certain topic, you review all existing papers already published. Okay, you review and then comment. And in the research paper, actually it is expected that it should be your and your group's contribution in a particular topic, and it should be novel. It should be significant contribution. This is the main basic difference.
Okay, ma'am. And a question from Maharajan: I don't know, ma'am, how to do a project, and I don't have any idea how to publish the article.
Yeah, that's why you are attending this. So important thing is, my suggestion is, in your lab, if there is any project given, you immediately try to do the project in a very way and try to see how you can add novelty in there. So if you think about project only and don't add a little contribution, then you cannot publish conference paper. But if you can make a significant contribution, then you can go for a journal paper directly. It's possible, but start from a lab project. Don't think about only project. Always keep in mind that from this project I will write papers. So this is the first step. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And a question from Bhuvaneshwari: is research article help in our placement, ma'am?
Yeah. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Is research article helps in your placement?
Yes, of course. Placement means you are an undergrad student, right? You
Yeah.
want to go for an internship, you want to go for a PhD study, both are placement. Because when you go for a PhD study, you will be given a research assistantship. It is a type of recruitment also. In both the cases, if you write papers, you will remain far ahead from anyone. So it is important. Even in industry, they need research people, because in industry there is a team called R&D, research and development. If you want to be a regular employee of industry, it's okay. But if you want to really contribute to the R&D portion of the industry, you read research papers, because this is very important. You don't the regular jobs of a company. If you want to a researcher scientist in a company, for recruitment they will see whether you have your research profile or not. So research profile, the world is divided into two parts: one who has wrote a paper, one who did not write a paper. So this is very, very important. You got it what I told you?
Thank you, ma'am. And a question from Bhavana Devi: hello, ma'am. There is any award for being a good publisher in the UG?
In the
UG, ma'am. UG.
undergraduate?
Undergraduate. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it depends. There are a lot of technical societies and IEEE. They give research award to the undergraduate thesis, best undergraduate thesis award, best postgraduate thesis award, and always in almost all undergrad thesis can produce a research work, and if it is good quality, you can get a best thesis award in many conferences. So start with your undergrad thesis, submit to the conferences, try winning the best paper award in conferences, then look for society that evaluate your thesis will give you best thesis award. So there are a lot of avenues. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And question from Anaga K. Sasidaran. Hello, ma'am. What do you think about journal taking more than a year to publish a paper? Can I repeat again, ma'am?
You tell me, let me, yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
repeat.
What do you think? Hello, ma'am. What do you think about journal taking more than a year to publish a paper?
you know that to publish a paper needs to be it needs to be scrutinized, plagiarism check, and then reviewer, and those reviewers are volunteers, right? They are academic professors, industry expert, and they may not have a this is not their regular job. At when they do their day job, and either they work in the university or industry, then when they find time, they submit review. Once you submit review, then review questions, then as an author, I have to respond to them properly. Then if I don't give the response properly, then I will receive another set of review. So there are minimum time required for journal papers, and many of the cases those times are really required because these are steps. You will submit, associate editor will assign reviewer, reviewer will review, then you will submit review, then again it will go to reviewer, reviewer will again review, and the associated editor and editor will give you decision. So it's there are rational time required for it. But there are fast journal, quick journal, and very long periodic journal. It's you. You are in which step of career, and it is your choice where you want to go. You want to wait for 1 year, or you want a quick publication. But what? No matter what you do, you should not sacrifice the quality of the journal and quality of the research work. That's my suggestion.
Super, ma'am. And a question from Akshaya. What is the procedure to publish the research paper in IEEE?
Yeah, always you have to you can publish, no problem. It's no barrier. You have to write a good quality paper.
Okay,
Contributions, the points that I have mentioned, you have to follow it properly, and if you don't mind, you can read my papers which are published in IEEE. At least there will be a first hand example available to you that what can be done, right? Thank you very much.
super, ma'am. And question from Ajay. What is a frequent problem will be done in research papers?
Recent problem.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
uh,
Frequently occurring problems.
Figure problem in publishing papers.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
A problem is, sometimes you may not get proper data. You can have a good results. You cannot do that's medical data. You cannot get good data, or not only that, you cannot get the right reference, or you cannot get some funding for your implementation. So there are many other issues that are the minimum problem for your research. But there should be always solution.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And a question from Jinu. Some articles in high impact factor journals are not citing boss research published in law. No impact factors journals. What is your opinion?
I don't get the
Yeah,
question.
question is so complicated. Ma'am. Some articles in high impact factor journals are not citing Bo's research published in low or no impact factor journals. What is your opinion?
You know, I told you that 50% of the papers are not cited at all. So it is important to receive citation. That means you are doing useful research. People are using it. People are citing it. It's a contribution to the community. Thank you.
Yeah.
It reflects your impact of the research, which is very important.
Okay, ma'am. And a question from Nevi. A question from Christoph, ma'am. Could you please share with us your latest scientific achievement in your research activities?
Yes, recently, 2 weeks back, my one transaction paper published in IEEE Transactions on Artificial Intelligence. I told you in my presentation, it is using multimodal imaging techniques. My students have detected COVID-19 from X-ray and from other radiographs like ultrasound images. So you can get it. It is the most recent research and published in very good journal papers, which is IEEE Transaction on Artificial Intelligence. You can search about it, read it, and you can get it.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Uh, okay, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions are over. Thank you for your patience, ma'am, and your sharing experience. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
It's an honor to mentor you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Be thankful for what you have. I will end up having more. A big thank you to our honorable chief guest, Dr. Celia Shahnaz ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. It was very useful and enlightening for us, ma'am. Thank you for gracing the event with your valuable presence, even in your busy schedule. On this note, I would like to thank our director, sir, Dr. N. Mary Wilson, and Princess Nancy ma'am, coordinator of JIT IETE Student Forum, for providing encouragement and support to organize the event. I would like to thank all our volunteers of this event, NIRMANA'21. Without you, the event couldn't have been possible. Thank you so much for being a huge support factor. Last but not least, I would like to thank everyone for your valuable and lovely presence and contribution to this event. We will meet in another event. Thank you all for the challenges, opportunity, and beauty of the day. Participants, kindly check the chat box for feedback form which is being posted, and I request to fill it up for certification. I thank each and everyone who stood with us and make the event a grand success. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Rakesh, Ragul, Shobana, and everyone. Take
Thank you
care.
so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. And sometimes when